Good morning, everybody in the Finding Your Voice Facebook group. This is Renee Reich, the CEO and founder of this group. I am excited to be here as always. It is Wednesday morning, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'm happy to have you here. So before we get started on today's topic, which is Trials to Triumphs, I just want to talk about something that I mentioned last week, and I put it in the chat last week as well, about an amazing opportunity for the coaches and speakers and entrepreneurs in this group. And regardless of what you do, because this is an amazing opportunity, it's called OWL, and you can sign up. And I put the referral code. It was RR800901 last week. I'll put it again this week. It's launching on the 7th, and it's just an amazing platform. And also another stream of income for anybody that is interested in having another stream of income, and who doesn't want that? So make sure you go into that, and I will make sure we put in again. It's owl.com, OWWLL, if anybody. It's Helene, good morning, or good afternoon, good evening, wherever people are joining in from. It's OWWLL.com. If somebody could put that in the chat, and then it's referral capital RR 800901. Thank you. If you're live, which hashtag live, replay, put hashtag replay. Again, I was on the phone with the CEO and founder of the group, and I've invited him to talk to this group. So that will be happening in probably a couple of weeks. But in the meantime, don't wait for that, because it's just an opportunity for you to, as I said, have another stream of income and connect with other people as well. So it's very, very good. I'm really excited about it, and I am part of it, and I only want to bring things to you that I think are going to be beneficial. So I will bring speakers on, which I've had in the past as well. I'll be doing more of that. Speaking about that, I am going to have Dr. Doug back on again on the 1st of June. I believe that's next Wednesday. So if you are able to join in, I will be posting that as well. And he will be coming on live with us. I'll be interviewing him. He'll be doing some live things with everybody here. He does amazing healing, and some people in this group have already experienced that, so I'm grateful for that. So those are a couple of things I wanted to make sure you knew about. So owl.com, OWWLL.com, and then it's referral code capital R 800901. If anybody could stick that in the chat, that would be great. If not, I'll do it when this live is over. And anybody that's interested in being a guest on my show, I always welcome that as well, because I just want to bring great people to the platform in a live setting. You're already on the platform, but I want to be able to share our voices together, and that's what this is about. So happy to be here, happy to have you here. Thank you for joining live, Helene. You're such a staunch supporter. We've got many of you here, so I'm happy to see that. So this week's topic, Trials to Triumphs. And thank you. Yes, definitely. We are praying for you as well, Helene. Helene is going through chemo, and we're praying for her well-being and good health. So always putting the prayers out there for not just Helene, but anybody that's going through something in their life where you are having some sort of a struggle right now. My thoughts, my prayers are with you. And I also want to let you know, I'm promoting other things, but I also want to let you know that I offer, coaching services, and I will make sure my link is up there. It's whether you're a, coach, speaker, entrepreneur, I really am here to help and serve and help guide in that path to your purpose. So I'll make sure my link is up there as well. It is something that I'm really proud that I offer here, and it's a voice blueprint. It takes, people from vulnerability to empowerment. And so many times we feel stuck in our life, in different aspects of our life. And also, I did some market research this past week, and I went into a room in Clubhouse, and I just did a pop-up room, and I had so many people come in, and they said, Renee, your market research is really for a different reason than what you're thinking it is. I was looking for people, like the main pain points, and I'm going to ask you this as well, the main pain points you're struggling with, and you can back channel me if you would like, if you don't want to put it in here. And what I found, which was really interesting, people were saying, Renee, the room itself is the pain point. It was for people that were in the entrepreneurial space or in business, you know, really having the struggles, like on the outside, it looks like everything is just wonderful. You're showing up, you're showing, everything is there. But on the inside, and one gal even said she was like spaghetti. And I was like, wow. And then I had other women, CEOs of companies, coming to me, and other men too, and saying, you know, outside it looks like everything is great. I got it all together, and inside they're like, holy crap. And I said, well, that is the main pain point then that I wasn't even thinking of. So it was more of an awakening for me of what the pain points really are. So please back channel me on Messenger, and maybe we can do something. I would love to do something with you, because I know there are those pain points out there. So many women came into the room, and as I said, there were some men as well. So this is not just for women, but I know that there's a lot of struggling out there. And you don't want to really put yourself out there saying that, oh, I'm struggling with this, right? That's why he's like, back channel me. Because it's not just yours alone. You're not going through this alone. There are many that are in that same situation, but people aren't saying that because nobody wants to put themselves out there and saying, listen, I'm struggling. You know, that's, again, my first thing in my voice blueprint is vulnerability. And sometimes you got to get vulnerable to get through what it is. And that's what I walk people through in that journey of finding your own voice. And we get to do that together. And I say we get to because it's always an honor and a privilege for me to work with people, because I feel very blessed. Even though my struggle was a big struggle when I lost my voice and was told I may never be able to speak again, I realized that that struggle became my greatest strength. And now I've taken it to serve and to support each and every one of you. So please back channel me on Messenger, on Instagram, wherever you feel you can reach me. I'm here. I'm here. So this is probably the best place. But as I said, back channel me, because nobody really, I don't think, wants to say those things out front. But maybe you do, and good for you if you do, because that's the biggest piece of being vulnerable. So let's get right into this. So the topic, trials to triumphs. And this really wasn't a segue. It's really what's going on. That's what a lot of people are struggling with. So last week we spoke about, you know, the different struggles in failing forward. And a lot of you chimed in for that. The things that you were struggling with and how you failed forward in your own career. Hello, Mikey. Oh, goodness. You have been going through so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing better, Mikey, and your mom. So my prayers and blessings to you and her and everybody that you're around. So trials to triumphs. Oh, Mikey, you can weigh in on this one too. So many things I know have gone on. Hello from Amsterdam. Yes, you're in Amsterdam. So the first thing is to look for the positive, in the situation. I always have a list of things I want to impart, like a teaching experience, and then to ask you, because this is very interactive. Yes, I'm the one on the camera right now, but I very much speak to you, as you know, those who have been coming through each week that come on live or replay. So please comment if it is live or replay and respond, because I'm going to always respond to you. Okay, Mikey, okay, I see that you said you're not getting better. So, Mikey, I'm sending you my love, my prayers, my blessings to you and your mom. Thank you for your kind words. I love you. Okay, so I'm going to stick to the topic at hand here. So it's trials to triumphs. It's stepping back and being the observer. It's not always easy, especially in the moment that we're going through the trial. And I'm the first to admit it. Yes, I'm going to be vulnerable. That's the first part of my blueprint. How could I not be just do as I say and not as I do? So I got to lead by example. It's like, you've got to take a step back. Sometimes I do things or say things. I'm like, okay, where's that coming from? Right? What was the trigger? And why was I triggered? And who triggered me? And why did I allow that person to trigger me? So many things. These thoughts. I say these thoughts are things, right? They do. They become things. So try to focus on what you want rather than that which you don't. But think about the things that have happened in your life. And when you can calmly take a deep breath, breathing is hugely important, and take a step back and be the observer of the situation, the trial to triumph. What is happening right now in your life that you have gone through some sort of trial, whether it's in business, whether it's in a relationship, or first and foremost, the relationship with yourself. What is that tug of war? What is that you're like going and pulling and tugging? It's like, ugh, like, why can't I get through this? Like, what is going on? Take a step back, take a deep breath, take a step back and try to really figure it out. I posted, I think it was yesterday, about, the things in our closet being our closet in our mind, and to release those things. And sometimes I put the tools that we have, I put a picture of tools, and then I made a quote. I do my own quotes every day. I've been doing my own quotes, and then I put content above it. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. But about tools that we have, and then we don't even realize we have them. We tuck them away, like the clothes in our closet was kind of the thought about the post. And then we don't realize we have these tools. But having each other is also a tool. And we don't always want to rely on each other, because it's like, I don't want to tell so-and-so about blah, blah, blah. Well, this is why I do what I do. We got to get, vulnerable with each other and say, this is the story, this is what's going on. And we can't always see, outside the picture when we're inside the frame, right? And you can't see the forest from the trees and all those sayings, which are really true. But you can't. And if to think that we can do this life by ourselves, I know I can't. I know I can't. So, it's having a voice, sharing our voices. I love what you wrote, Mikey. Your practice for that is acknowledge your feelings. Yes, feelings are part of our everyday existence. I'm going to expand this. You deserve some space. Be open-minded. If you feel negative emotions, practice positive actions. I love, love, love that. Create positive memories from positive experiences. And the fact that you are sick in, Amsterdam and still able to do this, hats off to you. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Something I say, when you show up to life, life shows up for you. So Mikey, thank you for being here, and everybody else, and Helene and everybody else that's chiming in. I appreciate you, Carolyn. I've seen you coming through here as well, and people coming on live or replay. I appreciate each and every one of you. So be the observer, take a step back, and look for the positive. Like, why are you feeling that way? Why are you feeling triggered? There's a reason. There's a reason somebody is triggering you. There's a reason that something happened that triggered you. And even though we think that we're past something, that's why it's called a trigger, because you come back to it and it's like, uh-oh, I thought I was better than that. And that's no judgment on your part, because I'm not judging. I don't want you judging yourself. I thought I was over that. I thought I was past it. Why is it still coming up? Think positive and be positive. Absolutely, Carolyn. Absolutely. It's not always easy in the moment, I will say that, because it's like, why is that happening? As I said, but it's to really not negate what you're feeling and squash it down. And we squash it down through so many ways, through drugs, alcohol, food, sex, so many ways we squash our feelings down because we don't want to face it. Procrastination, every which way. They're all over the place. All those things that we do, the monkey mind, should do this, should do that. I'll get up and move around and do something different. And then we never get to do what we really set out to do, the intention we set for the day. So really think about those things. The next thing is to count your blessings. And I speak about gratitude a lot in this group. Be grateful for what you have. The more, and I keep a gratitude journal, and write these things down, not just think of them. And if you don't write them down, at least think of them, but I prefer that you write it, because of what comes out, what comes up will come out. And the more you start writing, I also believe in the power of the pen. You'll start seeing more and thinking about more things to be grateful for, and more people to be grateful for in your life, rather than having that negative mindset of this isn't right and that's not right and this sucks and that sucks and all those things. They don't suck and you don't suck. Sorry for the language, but it's true. You don't. And these things are really, I feel like I got a hair on my face. There we go. Rather than my head. That we have going on. But there's a positive in there. There's something positive that's going on that for you to glean insight from. And to really think about those things. And Mikey, the fact that you're really kind of quarantined right now, it's giving you a time to step back instead of rush, 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 go, go, go. And I know for me personally, when I got sick in 2013 and had viral pharyngitis and was quarantined, and doctors had no answers for me. And I fell into a deep depression, quite frankly, during that time. People are to me like water to a plant. So I was literally, stuck with no voice and pain that you wouldn't wish on anybody. But it gave me time, and I wasn't spiritual at the time, so I couldn't tell you that I did all this inner work. I did none of it. I didn't know what was going on, really. But it was, I think, really part of that chrysalis stage. I talk about the caterpillar, the butterfly effect, and caterpillar starts crawling, like when it's born, it's crawling, just going along, and then it goes into this ooey gooey, mucky chrysalis stage, trying to figure stuff out. And it's really uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. The thing is, during that chrysalis stage, while it's figuring stuff out and trying to figure out who it is, it emerges as a butterfly, a beautiful butterfly. And we all have that within us. And sometimes we get stuck, and the chrysalis stage lasts different. It's not the same amount of time. I remember I researched this. I've done so much research over the last several years on different topics all around the voice. And each chrysalis stage is different. It's not exactly a certain amount of time. And for each and every one of you, it's not the same amount of time. Some will take longer, some will take shorter. It doesn't mean that the one that took shorter is more ahead or better than the next person. It's just different. It's not judging, okay? There's no judgment. So if I'm not judging you, you should not judge yourself. And I don't judge anybody. So therefore, don't judge you. You are really beautiful and perfect as you are, and you are in the stage that you are for whatever reason that is for you, for your own journey. And we're all on our own journey. And the beauty of this group is we get to share our voices and come together along our own journey. And that is what is so meaningful. So look for the positive in the situation, count your blessings. And something else that I written down that I want to make sure I say is the way, if somebody came to you, like your best friend, okay? Or a good friend, if you don't have a best friend, a good friend, someone you know, like, and trust. If they came to you for advice on what you are feeling stuck in, where you are feeling stuck, what advice would you give that person? Think about that. That's why I'm pausing. Think about it. What advice, take that step back. That was my first tip, take a step back. What advice would you give your best friend, or dear friend? What would you say to them? Because that is the information. I think about Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. I talk about that scenario so often. Each one of those characters had the power within them. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Google it if you don't know, or ask me. But each character had the power within them the whole time. Dorothy didn't have to click her heels 3 times to get back to Kansas. She knew. She had it. It was within her. But every character had within them what they were seeking outside of them. And we have the answers, but we don't take the time to sit and think of them. And if we don't have the answers, that's why we can come together and reach out to each other, reach out to me. I'm happy to help guide on that journey because we all are on one. And it's taking time and making time for ourselves. We make time for so many other people in our life. But yet, how much time are you taking for you, for your own self-care, for your own value and self-worth? So think about that. Trials to triumphs. You have to take time for yourself to be your own hero in your journey. And reach out if you don't feel you're able to do that at this time. Again, there's no judgment on yourself. And I don't ever want you judging yourself. We're very judgmental on ourselves. I'm saying that so many times because I did that. And sometimes I still do. I'm not going to say I've completely healed myself from that. As I said, we're all on our own journey. But just give yourself grace. Okay, give yourself grace. So reach out to others, as I said, that you know, like, and trust. And, an investment is not just an investment of money. An investment is an investment of time for yourself. That you're so willing to invest in others, invest in yourself. And turn that back for yourself because you need that. This is something that's part of self-care too. So make sure you give yourself that love and kindness and self-care and time, an investment of time. If you need to take time off and a day off or an hour, whatever that is, that's for you. It doesn't mean you're being lazy. It's like, oh, I should have done this. I was supposed to do that today. I promised myself I'd do this. How much we beat ourselves up. How often and how much. It is okay. I grant you permission. It's okay. You get back on track when you feel that you can. Sometimes we need to take a step back. We need to get out in nature. I do that. I actually do that quite often. Right. Laura, thank you for being here, sweetheart. Yeah, self-care is not selfish. It's selfless. And we all need to do that. I don't care what title you have. You all need to do that. We all need to do that. And that actually can help you go further in what you're doing to become. Because when you take a step back and you give yourself that time, you're able to just take a breath, breathe, and then propel further forward because you took that time for yourself. Instead of go, 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 go. That's how I actually ended up getting so sick, because I was taking care of everybody else in 2013. I was in corporate America, and I was making sure everybody under the sun was cared for. And I went down like in burning flames. Literally, my throat was on fire. I didn't mean that in that way, but as I said it, I realized I was really on fire. Maybe that's what that meant. I'm just thinking about that. My own metaphor. But my throat was on fire as I was making sure that everybody else's was cooled. I was the one that was burning up. So take time and make time for yourself. The next thing I want to make sure you know is, thank you, Laura. Well, the replay will be here. You can watch the replay too. Is just to realize that you're not being punished. It's not a punishment. Whatever it is you're going through, you didn't do anything wrong. Nothing happened. It's part of a growth process that you're going through. And allow yourself, give yourself permission. As I just said, give yourself permission to understand that it's not a punishment, that you did nothing to deserve anything that you feel maybe negative that's going on in your life. It's an opportunity, as was the first step, for observing and taking note of what's going on, and just take a step back and feel whatever it is you're feeling. The tears, the pain, the hurt. It's uncomfortable. Yes. I'm not going to say it's pretty, because it's not. But sometimes we go through these things, and I've had them, and I still do, because I am perfectly imperfect. Newsflash, I'm perfectly imperfect. I have my days and my moments too. So to allow that, and allow them to, I say we grow through what we go through. Use it, and as this time to grow, for your growth, for understanding that it's a growth spurt, for something that's bigger, that's happening for you, not to you, okay? So I want you to make sure you're clear on that. And to know that it's temporary. Whatever's going on, even though it might seem like it's forever, life is an ebb and flow. It's not going to last. When my position in corporate America ended after 25 years in 2017, I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought I'd be doing that forever. That was a long time that I was there. I didn't know there was something greater for me out there. There was all of you. There was this coaching and a book. That I wrote a book that became a bestseller. Who the heck knew that? That I had a book in me. Yes, it's called Finding Your Voice, Unlock Your Chains, and Unleash Your Greatness. If you haven't gotten your copy, there's a shameless plug. Please grab your copy. And if you want an autographed copy, I will be happy to do that, but please message me so we can figure that out. So realize it's not a punishment, and it's an opportunity for growth. The next piece I have, and then I'm going to ask for your comments too. I want to hear your comments and thoughts on this topic. It's not me talking, it's me teaching and then listening, because I need to listen too, and I want to hear what your thoughts around this topic are as well. So another thing I put down is about, with growth, when you go to the gym or you're exercising, you're building a muscle, right? You're building, where's my muscle? Somewhere in there. There we go. You're building a muscle, and it hurts as you're building it because you're doing so many reps, or you're targeting an area you haven't worked on before, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sore. Do you say, I'm never going to do that push-up again, or that sit-up, or that strength training? You actually usually feel good about it. You're like, oh, it's a good sore. It feels good. It means I'm growing, right? The muscle is growing. Or you're working out, or maybe you started out for a half a mile walk, and then it was a mile, and then it was 2 miles, and you built up your endurance. The reason I'm using that as an analogy is because the same holds true in what it is you're going through. The growth spurt. You're not going to say that, I'm never going to exercise again because your muscle hurts. You're like, oh my God, that felt good. Well, the growth spurt doesn't always feel good when it's happening, but it is something that allows you to grow if you allow it to happen for you and don't think of it as happening to you. It's a mindset, and you have to reset your mindset. You reset your clock, you reset your meter, you reset a timer. You have to reset your mind, and I say have to. It's an opportunity to. It's an opportunity to do that. Because in order to grow, sometimes we have to reset our monkey mind thinking. Because you wake up and you have Groundhog's Day is the same as yesterday and the day before and the day before, and then there's no movement and a forward momentum. Movement creates momentum. That's why it's good to move around and not stay at the computer 24/7 or on your phone 24/7, just to make sure that you keep moving in a direction of where you want to go, not in a stuck place, because the more you stay there, the more you're going to stay there. And then there's that, dog chasing its tail thing. So make sure that you do that and know that you are building a muscle. And a lot of times the mental muscle is the most difficult one to build because, as I said, we got that monkey mind that's always swirling around. And then the other thing is allow your test to become your testimony. The things that you feel you're being tested on, or the things that you're, going through and growing through, allow it to become a testimony for you that you can impart to somebody else and be that coach or that mentor for somebody else. Because first, be it for yourself. Again, be your own best friend, then your own worst enemy. You wouldn't be an enemy to your best friend, right? If they come to you, as I said earlier, for advice, for what would you do or I need some help with, you wouldn't berate them. You wouldn't beat them up. You wouldn't tell them they suck at something and give it up. You would say, keep going. You believe in them. And you would be there for them. So how can you be the observer in your life and take a step out from where you are, from like that 30,000 foot view? And what would you tell yourself? You're not going to tell yourself, if you're acting as your best friend, that they're not good enough. You won't tell them, give it up. They can't do it. They're not worthy. They don't deserve it. You would never say that. I know you, because I know you. I know everybody in this group. You wouldn't say that. You would say, okay, what's going on? You would be there for them. And you would help them through it. So how can you remove yourself, after you take a few deep breaths, from where you are currently at and say, okay, how can I use this as an opportunity? And in the moment, you can't. I'm not going to lie. You can't. It's like you're in the chrysalis, mucky stage. But when you emerge, or when you can take a step back from that, what advice would you give that person, your best friend, your family member who you are close with? Because everybody's not close with every family member, or your cousin, or whoever, relative, whoever that is in your life that you have as that go-to person. So I want you to think about that. How does any of this pertain to you? Where have you seen this in your own life? I'm going to ask this question for those who are here live and those on the replay. Again, #live, #replay. And how, things that have gone on in your life. Like last week I said, we spoke about failing forward. And like I used an analogy, if you were cooking in the kitchen, you screwed up on a meal, you wouldn't say, I'm never cooking again, I'm never eating again. Same thing, trials to triumphs. Things that have taken place in your life, in your own journey. And how have you used that to help catapult to where you are or where you are going? Anybody can chime in on that one. And while you're doing that, I want to make sure I reiterate from the beginning of this, be the observer. So I'm going to go through the list again while you're hopefully chiming in the chat. To trial to triumph is look for the positive, be the observer, count your blessings, realize you're not being punished, understand it's temporary, because we're always evolving. Life is always evolving, and so are you. So make sure you know that. That is not a permanent situation. It may seem like it is, but it's not. Because as the days flow and the hours flow, life flows. And your life flows. And allow yourself to be in a flow state rather than a stuck state. So try, and I say try. Forbes Riley doesn't like anybody to say try. Whenever you say try, she's like, give me 10 push-ups. So make an effort. How's that? Make a concerted effort to do different so you can be and become different, okay? In a better way. And even if you're at a great place in your life right now, again, you're always up-leveling to where you really want to be, the next level to where you want to, who you want to be and how you want to show up. So think about those things. And again, think of it like the gym. If you go to the gym, or you like to be in nature and you're building a muscle, the mind muscle is the biggest one to build. As you build it and as you grow it, there may be some points. Chris, I was literally just thinking about you as I was saying that. And there you are. Thank you for being here. Amazing. And so amazing. You would be a great interview. We've talked about that before, so we'll have to backtrack to that one, that conversation. And where you know, how you want to show up as a leader in your life and your family, and where you can really stretch that muscle in your mind to build that leadership. You know, a lot of you are in this leadership position in this group. And regardless of where you are, you've got to really work that muscle, because it's something that you're so used to doing one way of life and being one certain way. But how are you showing up as a parent, as a leader, as a friend, as a husband or a wife? How are you showing up, and how can you stretch and work out that muscle to be better? And it's not that you're not good enough where you are. Please, 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 please know that. It's always up leveling to be and become a higher version of ourselves where we are currently at. That is all I am saying. So please don't misconstrue or twist the words around in any other way, because that's what it is. We always are wanting to up level to be and become a better version of ourselves, so we can show up not just better for ourselves, but for those around us. First and foremost is for yourself. You're not here to please other people, which was something that I struggled with a long time ago when I lost my voice. It's showing up first and foremost for yourself, so you can show up even better for others. But it's the first person is for you. Be your own best friend. Be your own cheerleader. Okay? That's what this is about. So really an honor to have everybody here. Chris, I know you're busy like many of us are, but you took the time to show up here, and I appreciate that. So those are things. I know you do a lot of speaking engagements on leadership, and this is a lot of things that I talk about is leadership. And I posted yesterday about having tools in our tool belt that you know, it's like going, I posted something about going through your closet, and that we have these tools, but we don't use them because we forget we have them. So, you know, reach out to me. Please reach out to me. Back channel me, message me here in Facebook, on Messenger, wherever you would like, and let's share our voices and know how I can, you know, serve and support, because that's what it is. That's what the voice blueprint that I created is about, from vulnerability to empowerment. And again, it's all different stages depending on where you're at. That's why when I work with clients, it's not the same thing that I give to everybody, because as I have, you know, homework for the people I work with, I have homework for me, because everybody is different. Like every butterfly, monarch or otherwise, is not the same as it emerges from the chrysalis stage. They're all different. They all look a little differently. There's some are bigger, some are smaller, some different markings. All of them are different. And you are no different than that. So we are all perfectly perfect as we are, and unique. People always say, well, what makes you unique? You make you unique. You've gone through what you've gone through. You may have some similarities in what other people are doing in their life. Oh, I'm a this too. I do that too. But don't label yourself as who you truly are. It's what you do is not who you are. I think that was one of my other posts, or one that upcoming one that I'm going to do. So don't compare. And I talked about also driving. When you're driving in the lane, in your car, you're in a lane. When you start looking over at the other car, maybe coming next to you, maybe you're about to, you know, change lanes or something. What happens before you change? You're already looking over, and you're not even thinking about changing lanes, but the car starts swerving. You're like, uh-oh. Yeah, because you moved your head, and then you gently move the car, not meaning to. The same thing holds true in your life. When you start focusing, even for a minute, that split second that you look over, the car goes over before you're ready to move. Maybe you weren't even intending on moving, but you felt something on your peripheral vision. You looked over and like, uh-oh. Stay in your lane. This life is your life. And whatever lane that is, it's your lane. Whether you change lanes or not, that's your decision to change lanes. Not to compare, well, look where this one is, look where that one is. Nobody knows the backstory. Nobody knows Chris's well, I do, but his backstory of where he came from to where he is today. You see, great, Chris, and he is great, and everybody here is great. But the thing is the story of how they got to be great to where they are. They didn't come from greatness. They didn't all come from greatness. They weren't fed with a silver spoon. The spoons were mangled. They had to say, I want to do different. I don't like the way I was raised. I don't like the environment I grew up in. I feel emotions in me right now. My voice is also getting more powerful. I feel like I'm like, oh, because I really want to impart that on you. We see everybody on social media. Well, look at that one. Look at that one. Look how wonderful they're doing. Yay, them. They got this. They got that. Good for them. What about me? You know what? You don't know where they came from. You don't know all the struggles. You don't know somebody else's story. You know what you see, and yes, you're happy for them. And be happy for them. Because I can guarantee you, a lot of them, and I know a lot of them because I'm connected with a lot of them, they didn't come from silver spoons. They didn't come from silver spoons. I mentioned Chris because he's watching. But there's a lot in this group who also didn't come with silver spoons in their mouth or in their hands. And it's where they came from and who they have chosen. And this is where I hats off to you, Chris. Chosen. Because it's choice. Our life is a choice. You say, well, no, this happened to me and all that. You feel things are happening to you, but it's a choice that you make. That you decide to make. Say, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to stay in this position anymore. There is more for me in life. How could all these other people be worthy and I'm not? Well, guess what, my friend? You are. You are just as worthy as the next person. I'm going to repeat something. You're on a different path than they are. It's not a comparison game. So don't compare. Give yourself that grace and that space. Hold that space for yourself, and I will gladly hold it for you and hold you up and lift you up. Because that's what this is about. We all are different. We're very similar in the sense of the life that we're experiencing together, that we get to experience together. But our paths that we're walking are not all the same. And one person's path doesn't mean it's ours. Ours is meant for us. It doesn't mean good, bad. It's just different. Right, wrong. It's just different. Okay? So those are my words of wisdom, if you will, of advice, whatever you want to call that today. I want to see, what did you say here, Helene? Amen. Worthy. Yeah, absolutely. And again, I want to make sure, I'm going to put the link in. And Chris Salem, if you're still on, I was thinking about you for this too, this wisdom app that I just joined. And I'm going to have the CEO and founder of the company on here. I think in a couple of weeks, I was on a Zoom call with him yesterday, actually. And then again, we were on in a Clubhouse room last night. So really, it's a great platform. I'm going to put it in the chat. So it's OWWLL.com. And then you're going to use referral capital R 800901. Coaches, speakers, doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, authors, everybody. I mean, it's an incredible opportunity for everybody in this group to go on that. So please join that. Put your profile in. When it asks for the referral code, that's when you use the RR800901. And then what happens, I'm going to tell you, I'm very transparent with everything here. You get $10 credit to use to reach out to experts. So it's like free expert advice. And then if you want to become an expert, then you can also apply to become an expert too. And message me that you want to be one, because I know a lot of you in this group already are. And then it's another stream of income for you too. So this is something I really am behind, and I want to bring things that I have, been privy to you, because if I think it's good for me, then it's good for you. So, and it's a great opportunity. So OWWLL.com, and then you go referral code when you put your profile in, and it'll ask for that. It's capital R 800901. I'll put that in. And then also, I mentioned Dr. Doug Lear will be coming back in, I believe, next Wednesday for another interview, and he is amazing. So I'm looking forward to that interview, and anybody that is interested in being part of that, I'd like to invite guests to this show as well. So I'll be doing my own thing, each week, and then in between we'll be bringing some special guest appearances on from this group, people that are already in this group, to be part and serve you in a greater way too. So, and again, anybody interested in messaging me, please back channel me. I know there's a lot of work to be done out there, and I'm grateful that I have my voice in which to serve you. So please message me and let me know you're interested in that. I'll put my link up as well, my Calendly link, to set up a time to connect, and we will make that happen. I want to make sure I said everything I wanted to say. Yes, I did. And again, for those who haven't gotten my book, again, it's Finding Your Voice, Unlock Your Chains, Unleash Your Greatness. And in the book, it's actually a journal with a book. So it's like two things in one. You get to, and I always say the word get to, write down your answers to the questions which I pose to you along your own journey in finding your own voice in whatever way that is. It doesn't mean that you had to have lost it like I did in a painful way. Mine was mental, physical, and emotional. It went to every level. And I think it's so I can do a better job at what I'm doing to serve you today. So that is, I believe, why I went through all three. It was a trifecta of like, holy crap, when it was happening. I couldn't even say holy crap. I had no voice. But it was really, I think, something that I was given as a gift, not knowing at the time it was one, that I'm now able to serve from a greater standpoint than I ever would have before, in the mental, physical, and emotional way, to serve, give, and share my voice with each and every one of you. So for that, I am truly grateful. And I want to thank you for being here. I'm going to look at all the comments as I log off and post this. And please, if you are live, hashtag replay. Laura, thank you. Yeah, it is on Amazon. If you go to Amazon and just type in my name, the book will pop up. Or you could put the long title, Finding Your Voice, Unlock Your Chains, and Unleash Your Greatness. And for those who want an autographed book, we can figure that out. And I have some here I can certainly be happy to autograph for you as well. So that's an opportunity too. So I'm just letting you know that. All right, my friends, have a beautiful and blessed day. Stay healthy. Mikey, Helene, stay healthy, stay safe, stay blessed. And I will see you next Wednesday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 12 Central, 12 Mountain, 1 Central, and 2 Eastern. So please join me again. It's every Wednesday in the Finding Your Voice Facebook group. I continue to post my post daily, and I hope you're finding value in that. I appreciate you so, so much, and I wish you a beautiful rest of your day, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you so much for being part of my life, and I'm grateful to be part of yours. Bye-bye.